Hi everybody, Glenn here from STG Global. We're just doing a bit of a walkthrough on our 20 cubic metre side lift garbage truck. These bodies, they actually come in a range of different sizes. So we start down at the 14 metre body and go right up to a 30 metre body on the side lift. Our body and hopper are actually two separate components. So our packer up the top here is a pendulum packer. It's a dual cylinder, so it's the second generation pendulum packer. We have the sole distribution manufacturer rights on the new generation pendulum packer. We've actually set it up this way so that if there's a need to pull this service module off, we can take it off using a forklift. Around about 4 hours, we can actually remove it, service it, and put a new unit straight back on in its place if it needs to be replaced. The other advantage to having it set up this way is if the body gets to the end of its service life, a lot of your expensive components are up here in the hopper unit. If it's still serviceable, we can replace the body and we can leave the packer and the hopper unit still in its place if it still works. We're operating on a dual valve bank. So the reason we run on a dual valve bank is that we want our packer to be operational completely separate to the arm. Just makes it more efficient for the operators when they're out collecting bins. The packer can be doing its thing and we're not lagging the arm as we're trying to collect. There's also overrides here for the hydraulic side of things. So if we ever lose control of the joystick, electrical function, we can hydraulically override our functions here and safely work on them back in the yard. On the body, we've got 4 e-stops. There's one on each corner of the truck. So in here, you'll see we've got one lifting cylinder here and another one on the other side of the truck. We keep our lifting tilt cylinders on the extremities of the truck. That way, when the body goes up, it offers more stability for the truck when we're at a tipping site. Once that body gets up nice and high, having the twin cylinder on there just offers stability. We use all Australian-made, high-quality hydraulic cylinders on the truck. This is just to offer protection for all of our hydraulic cylinders. It stops rubbish getting in there, fouling up the cylinders. It also offers protection for our hydraulic lines. So this access ladder, it's got a reed switch on it. The idea being, if anybody gets up here and wants to look into the hopper area, clear any blockages or anything, all of our pendulum packer, arms, rear door, tilt on the body, it's all locked out, so there's no ability for anybody to be able to operate anything and potentially get themselves hurt. On the body itself, integrated toolboxes, you'll see just here, toolbox 1 and toolbox 2. We've got access here and it actually runs right through to the other toolbox. The sidewalls and the roof of the truck, they're made of a Hardox 450. So the idea being nice hard steel. It's got a hardening process that they go through to be able to make the body more rigid. On the floor of the truck, we run the high ace. The reason that actually stands for high acidity. A lot of bin juice and that sort of stuff collects and it sits on the floor of the truck. So having the high ace Hardox 450 just offers a lot more corrosion resistance on the floor. We've got here as well lightweight aluminium panels, so give them a bit of a bash. The whole idea of having the lightweight aluminium panels around the bottom of the truck is more if an operator reverses into something and he damages up the bottom third of the truck, rather than take the truck off the road for days at a time where we have to panel beat the truck, potentially missing a week or 2 in the panel shop, we can unbolt these panels, take them off, whack a new panel on there, the truck's back up and running within an hour. At the back of the truck, as you can see, it all lights up like a Christmas tree, especially at night. It really does stand out, and that's a safety feature. So anytime the operators operate any of the features on the truck, the arm, the tilt, the grab forks, even lifting the rear door, these beacons will automatically come on. And we've got a rotating beacon up the top there. If any of these modules need to be replaced at any point in time, they're all literally a plug-and-play situation. So we just unplug the connection at the back, swap out the individual modules, and then plug it back in, and we're off and running again. Walking down this side of the truck, we've obviously got a battery isolation here. So what this will do is it will kill all electrics to the body and also to the chassis. So at night, obviously, we can save coming in the next day and potentially having a battery discharge and a dead battery. We have an integrated hydraulic oil tank and also cooling. This is STG's own design. So those hydraulics tend to get really heated up. This system here will keep them in check, make sure that our hydraulics don't overheat. Over here, we have a remote bin lifter. If our operator turns up to a site and there's 20 bins all lined up together, he can actually jump out and individually push the bins on to the grab arm. So you'll see here, it's quite simple in operation. To lift, we would turn towards where it says lift and then operate the paddle left and right. And then to get the grab fingers to open and close around the bin, we would just turn it the other way and then operate the paddle left or right to close or open the grab. As soon as we operate our arm, we've got beacons all over the arm, so it gives another really good visual reference. Very hard to miss this truck in operation just because of how it lights up. If we lift the bin up with the boom out, which I will simulate just there, what happens is we hit an interlock. Now, this stops us from flipping the bin onto the road. I'll bring that back in, and as soon as the boom comes back in, proximity now allows us to unlock and we can flip the bin over without putting it all over the road. Bring our bin back down. We'll extend our boom out again to put the bin onto the ground. We'll bring it down, open our grab arm and bring the boom back in. Now, there is also a feature on this truck where, say for example, our driver absentmindedly puts the bin down and he goes to move off to another bin. If that boom is out, it becomes very dangerous for pedestrians and other traffic. If our operator accelerates and he goes over 4 kilometres per hour, the boom will actually automatically retract itself back into the home position. Over on the iPad, we have an e-stop, very simple operation. Press it in if there's any issue, we need to shut down the operation of the truck. And then to reinstall, LED comes on. We're now operational again. We can operate the joystick. We have the joystick here. It's a very simple to operate joystick. It comes on a adaptable armrest, so we can change the angle of the armrest up and down. We can bring it in and out. On the joystick side of things, we have paddles at the front here. So these paddles, very simply operated. We pull onto the left of the paddle, our forks will close up to grab around the bin. If we go to the right with the paddle, it now opens the grab side of things. So we're basically releasing and opening the grab. If we go left, the beam will go out to be able to pick up the bin, even up to 2 metres away from the truck. And then obviously we retract the arm by pulling to the right-hand side on the joystick. With the grab closed, if we want to go up and flip the bin into the hopper, we just pull back on the joystick and the arm will go up and flip the bin over into the hopper. And then to bring it back down to the ground, we just push forward and same again. And then at that point, I would open the grab like so, releasing our bin back onto the nature strip. We're on the dashboard at the moment. We have a load mode and an unload mode. Obviously in load mode, we're picking up bins in the street, we're loading them onto the truck, and then when we're at the tip, we have an unload mode. With unload mode and load mode, the main difference is unload mode opens and closes the rear door, and in the body side of things, we can now raise and lower the body for tipping off. When we're in load mode, these are greyed out for safety. They can't operate off the joystick, they can't operate off the iPad, so there's no risk of us having an accidental activation of the rear door or the body being tipped while we're in loading mode. We have a bin counter here, so as we flip off each bin, we know that we're building our count up during the day. We can add scales to the truck so we can get our total body mass of the truck. That saves us from going over the manufacturer's specifications on our weight and also potentially getting in trouble with the authorities for being overweight as well. So this is our packer. I can actually see the packer in motion and I can manually pack as I go. you'll see here, grab actually opens and closes on our infographic, so we can always see what position the grab is in. The grab arm, when we lift, same thing happens. When we lift, we can see it turns red, and we know that we're obviously not in the home position. So on the unload side of things, same thing again. Our door is now active, our body is now able to be raised. If I open the door, as soon as I crack the seal on the door, it's actually open probably a couple of millimeters. It'll show us that the door is open. And we open the door, we'll see on the camera, the door is going up. To make it easier for operators, because lifting the body is a long procedure, we can lift off the iPad or we can lift off the joystick only when we're in unload mode. And if we turn around the back there, we can actually see our body is lifting in an upward position. So on the infographic it shows lifting, and then visually we can see we're going up. Pressing forward on the joystick will now lower the body. See on our iPad we're still showing red, which means the body's not home, and in a second the body will now show it's in the home position. So once we have the body in the home position, the next step would be to close our rear door. We'll begin closing the rear door by holding the switch here. If I release it, it'll stop shutting the door straight away, but we'll hold that down, bring our rear door in, and we've heard the clunk. A lot of operators will think the door is closed. The system will actually say no, it's not, and drive it home by itself. So it's a very safe, easy to use system. We can manually operate the packer either by extending or retracting. Also, we have an auto pack feature. So it'll go through 3 cycles for each bin lifted. So that packer will sweep up and back 3 times to clear out the hopper area and pack all our waste into the body. We can figure out whether or not it's a joystick issue or whether it's a mechanical issue with the arm. It may be a sensor that's not doing the right thing. So we can dial into the truck and I can say to the operator, hey, can you pull back on the joystick for me? And if he pulls back, you'll see just here, it's actually showing me an electrical value. It's saying I'm pulling back 18%, 20%, 21% on the joystick. Now, if that was showing 0 and the operator is pulling back on it, then I know there's something going on with the joystick. So I can automatically fault find. We can check sensors, arm encoders, hydraulic oil temperatures, proximity switches, pretty much everything here gives us the ability to help to fault find and diagnose. The beauty about our systems is they are off-the-shelf items, so the iPad or any other sensors, switches, hydraulic cylinders, even the panels, if they get beaten up, they can be replaced easily. They're off-the-shelf items. Yeah, we can get parts out to people within 24 hours. How many bins can a side loader pack in an hour? This truck has the ability, I've actually timed it myself. Standing stationary, it'll actually flip about 400 to 450 bins per hour. And I find most operators will operate at about 200 to 220 bins per hour on a good day. The beauty of STG is that when we sell a garbage truck, whether it's a front lift or a side lift, we always go out on site with our customers. We try to deliver the truck in there ourselves. We'll spend time with the customer, training the operators. The benefit of that is when we walk away, we know that any bedding in issues are always sorted out with the trucks. So sometimes you might find a brand new truck has a little bit of a loose hydraulic fitting. We can catch that when we do the handover and we can tighten up that fitting. So it's one issue that the customer doesn't have to worry about. We can train each individual operator. We stick around until we know that they're comfortable with the truck and its operation and give them whatever training they need. We'll always be there to back up our customers, offer training, offer support. We're always a phone call away. So no matter where you are in the country or even in the world, give us a call 24/7. We can help you out with anything that comes up with the truck and its operation. So this is our demo truck. We're driving this all over Australia at the moment. So if you guys want a demo at any stage, by all means, give us a call, send us an email. You'll see all the details are all up here on the back of the truck, and we'll endeavour to get out to you as soon as possible.